Modern Warfare 3 season finally begins. I mean, technically, Modern Warfare 3 season started when the game, released, but I mean, when, once Season 1 starts, that's when things start really kicking into gear. As you guys can see here, here's the Modern Warfare 3 Season 1 Battle Pass. We're not gonna go over, like, everything here just because, there's already a bunch of other YouTubers that have done that stuff, but I will say, the Battle Pass here, it's pretty freaking crazy, man. Let's go ahead and look at the Tier 100 skin, okay? Even if you don't buy, like, the Black Cell $30 Battle Pass thing, look at this. Just for the base $10 Battle Pass, this skin is still insane, and then obviously, if you pay the extra $30, then you can go ahead and get the Black Cell variant of it. On top of that, if you do get the Black Cell Battle Pass, you get this, like, unique operator called Abolisher, and he has this dope Black Cell skin that you guys are seeing here, and you also saw the main menu. Like, it looks absolutely insane. On the Spectre side, I'm rocking Abolisher, but then over here on Cortax side, I'm actually rocking Dokkaebi, or however you're supposed to say that, the Black Cell variant of it, just because she looks so freaking cool. They also give you a bunch of weapons. Right now I'm using the all-rounder Black Cell variant of the Ram 7, which is one of the new ARs, and then I'm also using the Storm Ender launcher in this class, which there isn't like a Black Cell variant of it, but it's a new launcher. They also added the new sniper rifle, the XRK Stalker, which you can see here. Here's the Black Cell variant. Black Cell variants obviously look amazing, but then they also have like Blood Rose Tracers, which you guys are going to see in game then, and just the new weapons overall are pretty good. I was using the Ram 7 and the XRK over in Warzone, but especially the Ram 7, I have a feeling that it's going to be like a bit of a meta for the first couple weeks here of Warzone 3 or Urzikstan or whatever you want to call it. It's really good, especially in like short range engagements. And the XRK Stalker, it's good in Warzone and in multiplayer. It's good from like a damage perspective, but I will say the ADS is a little slow. I'm sure it probably just has something to do with the attachments that they have on there. I'm just gonna have to like level it up for myself and experiment with some different attachments to try to maybe speed up that ADS speed. We'll actually go into the firing range real quick just so you guys can kind of get a feel and a look for the weapons before we get into like the crazy gameplay and all that. But here's the all-rounder Black Cell variant for the Ram 7. And then when I shoot, as I was saying before, it's got like those Blood Rose Tracers, which it looks really cool. It's got like rose petals that like fly up all over the place. And here we are on the new map Meat. There is two new 6v6 maps, at least at launch for Season 1. We have Meat and Greece. We're probably not going to be able to play Greece in this video just because there isn't a dedicated playlist for it, which is kind of a regression in my opinion, because in Modern Warfare 2, in the first half of the game, it was like that, where only one of the new maps would get a 24/7 playlist, and then the other one you just kind of had to look for in quick play. But then towards the end of that game's life cycle, they finally reverted it, and you were actually able to, like, they just had 24/7 playlists for both of the new maps, but now we're kind of regressing to how things were before, where we only have one 24/7 playlist for one of the maps, and the other one you just kind of have to hope that you get lucky and find. Anyway, here's the Ram 7 AR, which we already talked about, and then we have the new Storm Ender launcher thing. I guess it's more of an EMP thing. We'll try to go up and hit a player real quick, but it doesn't actually kill players, so it just kind of pops up and says, plus 10 XP, you EMP'd a player. This thing is more or less just meant for like kill streaks and lethal equipments and stuff like that. As you can see, it just kind of says you EMP'd a player, and it doesn't actually do any sort of lethal damage. And then here is the XRK Stalker sniper rifle. It's your classic bolt action sniper rifle. It's pretty hard. Again, here's the ADS speed. It's not the slowest thing in the world, but it's also not as fast as I would like. Again, it probably does just have something to do with some of the attachments that they have on this thing. This isn't exactly a sniper rifle that I imagine many people are going to be like, popping off with, at least not this variant. Once you get the attachments optimized, sure, but right off the rip, this is definitely more built for Warzone, I'd say. Some of the attachments that they have on that all-rounder Black Cell variant of the Ram 7 are a little confusing as well, because the attachments themselves, like the weapon feels good to use, but if you guys plan on buying the Black Cell Battle Pass, if you use this variant, I would recommend taking off the 20-round mag that it comes with and swapping that out for the Retort 90 grip tape rear grip, because a 20-bullet mag on an assault rifle that fires as fast as this, yeah, it's not very good for either Warzone or multiplayer. So what I did, since the recoil on this thing right out the box, it's doable, I guess, but it is still a little extreme. It's pretty quick on the sprint to fire, ADS movement and all that. Like, it's good in that regard, but the recoil is a bit up there when you just, equip it as it is. So I would recommend swapping out that 30-round mag for the rear grip that I had mentioned previously. Then again, when it comes to the Storm Ender, I mean, you can use this thing on, like, kill streaks and lethal equipments, but, like, don't be expecting to do anything else with it, because it does not do any lethal damage whatsoever, unless you run up and like smack some enemies with it, but otherwise it just EMPs them. And of course, as with any other Black Cell Battle Pass, there is a bunch of Black Cell variants of other weapons, just, you know, outside of the new ones. Like here we have the Hot Caution Black Cell variant for the MCW. We'll use this one for a bit because I was actually using it like crazy this morning, and yeah, it's really good over here in multiplayer. I didn't get to use it in Warzone yet. Anytime I've been in Warzone, I've just been using the Ram 7 since I've been trying to level it up, but as you can see, this thing is like absolutely no recoil. The MCW between the beta and the full game has consistently been one of my favorite weapons, just between the feel, the sound, the look of it. It's just a very good weapon across the board. Come on, team, what are y'all doing, man? I mean, we're technically winning right now, but they got 2 of the objectives. Come on, y'all, let's get on it. I'm not asking that people go, you know, like esports crazy sweat mode every match, but come on, y'all, let's at least get on them objectives. Another thing worth mentioning is that it is apparently double XP for the next 48 hours, according to a post that they put up. The menus have kind of been glitching out. Like 1 minute it'll say that there's double XP, but then the next it'll say that there's not. Yesterday, double XP and double Battle Pass XP were active for about 4 hours until they turned off the double Battle Pass XP, and now it's just normal double XP. But again, it keeps glitching out and saying that it isn't there, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be there because they posted up saying it's going to be active for the next 48 hours. So just got to keep your eyes on that. Apparently, double XP is active, but yeah, all in all, yeah, man, Season 1 is absolutely ridiculous. Like the amount of content we have is just, oh man, it's great. This is just the launch of Season 1. That doesn't even cover all the stuff coming in Season with Season 1 Reloaded. So at the launch of it, we got like 2 new 6v6 maps, 3 new weapons, a whole new Warzone map, a bunch of new zombies content. You know, there's like a whole nother act to the missions over there, like a secret Easter egg of sorts, and you know, new bosses and stuff like that over there. Personally, I didn't get to complete all of the zombies content yet, just because, you know, I've been grinding out the multiplayer stuff. I did get started on the Act 4 thing, and I went to the Dark Ether, and I tried fighting the one boss, but unfortunately, man, I was using a tier 3 ray gun, and it was just not doing anything to him. And I went and looked some stuff up afterwards just to see, like, am I the only one having difficulty with this? And apparently, which this is really unfortunate, and it kind of makes me sad, this new update in Zombies is more geared towards co-op, it's seeming like, and it's not as player friendly, which is really unfortunate. I've been saying it since the launch of the game, man. Like, you know, it's been a really fun time as a solo player, and it's been really valuable to play solo, but unfortunately, it seems like they're starting to strip back on the solo thing, and they're trying to, like, force people to play co-op, and I really do not like that. You shouldn't be forced to play co-op in a mode that, up to this point, has been like, hey, it's solo friendly, player friendly. If from the rip, they were like, hey, you know, this is only co-op, then sure, that's whatever, but like to kind of like falsely deceive players into thinking they'd be able to do this thing solo and then kind of just like flip on them without notice, yeah, man, that's kind of messed up if you ask me. Some people like me are just antisocial or don't really feel like putting their mics on or just don't feel like playing with other people because that just kind of, there's like almost like another level of stress right there when you're forced to play with other players. You're depending on them, they're depending on you. It's just, I don't know. I'm the type of guy where I do believe that video games are an art form, and with them being an art form, it is up to the artists, aka the developers, to develop the game and make it into whatever they want it to be. But at the same time, when you start a thing out as being one thing and then you kind of just switch it up on the players without any notice to another thing, that, I don't know, it's just, it starts to kind of get into that gray area. Otherwise, outside of that, I am having fun with the new content over there, and then there's also a new Wonder Weapon, the VR11, and they added a bunch of new schematics, like you can finally craft the Tier 3 Pack-a-Punch Flawless Ethereum Crystals. You can also finally craft Legendary Ether Tools. Again, there's schematics for all of that, and there's finally a schematic for the Scorcher Wonder Weapon. They obviously also brought back all the classic modes over in Warzone, like Plunder, Resurgence, and all of those take place on, you know, like various parts of Urzikstan. I say various parts because right now it seems like Warzone and Plunder take place on the main Urzikstan map, whereas Resurgence takes place on, like, broken up parts of Urzikstan, almost like ground war maps. And beyond all that, I'm sure there's other things that I'm forgetting, but you know, then we'll have Season 1 Reloaded in a couple of weeks, maybe about a month, something like that, and you know, that'll bring a whole new slew of content. We're going to be getting new weapons there, a new 6v6 map, more stuff in Warzone and Zombies, I'm sure. It was also noted in the patch notes that in the mid-season update, they're finally going to be adding in more zombies at the exfil sites again, so it probably won't be to the extent that we saw at launch, where you could, like, just straight up farm zombies at the exfil zones, but there will at least be more zombies there, and they have already added more zombie types, so they're just like mimics and manglers or, you know, other special zombies like that. At least I'm assuming that there is. I haven't gotten to test it for myself, but in the patch notes it was saying that there's like more enemy types, so I'm assuming that it refers to those special kind of zombies. I'm hoping I haven't forgotten anything. I was trying to cover everything as, oh, and there's also going to be a new event happening, which we'll go ahead and, you know, we're going to look at that once we get back to the main menu, but there's going to be like a, you know, a bunch of Christmas stuff coming to the game. In a couple of weeks, there's going to be Shipmas coming to the game, which is obviously like a Christmas variant of Shipmas. Then we're also going to be getting Hangover, which is a Christmas variant of High Rise, and then there's just going to be a bunch of stuff coming with that update. Oh, and that's right, there's going to be like that new mode where there's like converted versions of the maps where it's going to be like the base game maps like Scrapyard, for example, where it's going to be like, it's going to be those maps, but they're going to look slightly different. They're going to look like almost like Dark Aether-fied, and it's going to be like this multiplayer mode where one player has like a ray gun and then you're going to be like fighting over it or something like that. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but that sounds insane. That's going to be coming in a couple of weeks with that Christmas update as well. And obviously with that event, there's going to be all sorts of like rewards and challenges and stuff that you can go for. But if we come over here to the event tab, as you can see, starts in 13 days. Santa's Playground, Season's Eating, Santa Gnaws is here to spread horror and fear. Complete event challenges to earn rewards. Just try not to get bit. Furthermore, there is also a new camo thing that we can go for. So if you remember back during Season 0, we had that like the Golden River camo that we could go for, as well as rewards for each week for completing that week's set of challenges. Same thing as before, just complete at least 5 challenges from each week, and this time we have not only multiplayer and zombies, but also Battle Royale, so there's plenty of ways to get these challenges done, and you only need to complete 5 of them across all of the modes. Just make sure you check it back each week, completing at least some of those challenges, and then if you complete all of them, like at least 5 challenges from each of those sets of weekly challenges for each of the 8 weeks, which, because right now it just says weeks 1 through 6, but here it says complete all 8 weekly challenges, so I'm assuming at the Season Reloaded point, there's going to be like another 2 weekly challenges added, or maybe they gotta add them in. However they end up doing it, once you complete all of the weekly challenges, or at least 5 weekly challenges from each of the sets of weekly challenges, then you'll unlock this Coherence camo. I don't know if it's animated, I don't know if it's gonna be static. Regardless, it looks like a pretty cool pattern. We'll have to see what it looks like once we actually unlock it and get to preview it on a weapon. Wait, it says preview reward. Oh, okay, wait, there actually is a way to preview it. So yeah, you know, it's not animated or anything, but I mean, that, you know, not every camo needs to be animated. It still looks absolutely amazing, in my opinion. Like, that actually looks really cool. I don't know why the first thing that came to my mind was Picross, but, you know, because obviously you have, like, those, like, splatter paint-looking things all over it, or whatever you want to call it, like, the cool decal things. But then, like, you know, like, in the smaller details, those, like, little dots all over the place. It almost looks like little Picross things. And then you also get a bunch of, like, you know, aftermarket parts, just for completing, like, for each week, you get an aftermarket part, or like a new weapon like they did last time. So as long as you stick with it, not only will you get this new camo at the end, but along the way you'll be getting aftermarket parts, possibly a new weapon, because like I said last time, they put an LMG behind one of the weekly challenges, so who knows, they might do that again, they might not, but regardless, you'll still be getting some goodies along the way, along with a bunch of XP. Speaking of XP, they did also raise the level cap. I'm not sure what the new level cap is. If we go to progression, is it gonna tell us? Unfortunately, it seems to be a little bugged right now. Every time I try to click on progression, it just kind of kicks me out of it, which is a little bizarre. Maybe it's because I'm already past level 55. I think they might have raised it up to 200, maybe 250. I'll have to look and verify on that, but it's one of those. That's usually how they do it. Like, you know, they usually raise by about 2 to 250 levels. So, you know, regardless, we still have quite a couple of levels to go through on top of the battle pass. So, yeah, man. And again, this is just the start of Season 1. You know, we'll be getting even more content with Season 1 Reloaded. So, safe to say, Season 1... it's absolutely ridiculous in all of the best ways. But anyway, now I'd love to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts in Season 1 so far? What do you think about the content in multiplayer? Warzone, zombies? Have you gotten to play all the content yet? But, you know, well, what are your thoughts on, you know, the whole zombie situation? Are you hoping that maybe they'll make it a bit more solo-friendly again? What do you think of the new Warzone map? Are you enjoying Urzic Stand? Do you like the new weapons? Do you like the new multiplayer maps? Are you planning to pick up the Black Cell Battle Pass? Whatever it is, whatever thinking, I'd definitely love to hear from you guys. But anyway, as always, massive shout out, thank you to all the Patrons and channel members. Thank you to all in the low baller tier, and a big shout out, thank you to all in the mid baller tier, Metal Asking, and Big Daddy Manning, the biggest shout out, thanks to all in the G tier, Rod Avengers, Selma Cheese Girl. Thank you guys so much. You guys are literal legends. I love you. Thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.